What's up, everybody, and welcome to Post Hype. Now, today we've got shots fired at Marvel in the MCU coming from the one and only James Cameron. Now, obviously, he's the director of Avatar and the soon-to-be-released Avatar: The Way of Water. He's also had his hand in so many different amazing projects like Titanic, Terminator, Aliens, the list goes on and on. So maybe his criticism deserves a little bit of validation. That's what we're going to talk about today. If you guys enjoy the video, make sure to smash that like button. But let's not waste another second, and let's jump right into this article here from GameSpot.com. Now, the article is titled, Avatar: The Way of Water's VFX Blow Away Marvel and Thanos, says James Cameron. It seems like Cameron can't help himself but to take digs at the Marvel Cinematic Universe. His latest barb sees the Avatar: The Way of Water director stating that his film's visual effects are better than what audiences saw with Thanos in Avengers: Infinity War and Endgame. Cameron was asked by comicbook.com whether Marvel's special effects had served as a motivation when making Avatar: The Way of Water. He pivoted to how comic book movies have led to more talent overall in the area. The rising tide of technique raises everybody together, Cameron says. But then he took his shot at Marvel while also boasting about the Avatar sequel. That said, Weta FX, as it's called now, is the best, right? Industrial Light and Magic does great work, but when it comes to the kind of emotive facial stuff that we're doing, Thanos? Come on. Give me a break, Cameron said. You saw Avatar: The Way of Water. It's not even close to what Weta did. Now, that is a big statement coming from the man himself. Now, I'm pretty sure Weta Digital has also helped in Marvel movies. I think they've had their hand in like several Marvel projects. And I mean, Marvel uses so many different studios because there are so many movies being released every year that they couldn't possibly have just one studio do everything. So that's kind of weird that if Weta has teamed up with Marvel and Disney before, that he's like boasting them like they haven't had a hand in that sort of thing. I don't know. That's the way I perceived it, at least, because I'm pretty sure they have had their hand in several Marvel projects. But the article goes on to say, interestingly enough, Cameron began the video interview by explicitly stating he wouldn't diss the Marvel or DC universes. He even added that he loves those movies. Well, he must not love them as much as he said at the beginning, because this man has a lot to say. But this isn't the first time Cameron has had strong words for Marvel and DC for that matter. In October, the filmmaker said superhero movies lack emotional maturation for the main characters. When I look at these big, spectacular films, I'm looking at you, Marvel and DC. It doesn't matter how old the characters are. They all act like they're in college, Cameron told the New York Times. They have relationships, but they really don't. They never hang up their spurs because of their kids. Now, that honestly is a valid point in my opinion. As far as the VFX side, I don't know what to think about that, because I'm pretty sure Weta and ILM are kind of neck and neck as far as their technology and innovation goes. But as far as his criticism of the MCU not treating their characters like real people and never really allowing them to grow and mature, that is a valid point in my opinion. I mean, these characters are always the same. At this point, they're all acting the same. They all have that same Iron Man, Tony Stark sense of humor. And obviously that resonates with audiences and creates a good summer blockbuster experience. But from a filmmaker perspective and somebody who's trying to see an actual good moving story, that can't always be the best. I mean, you have to have your characters grow and change. That's what we like to see. And that's why the hero's journey is such a valid storytelling technique. But I guess it's not going to be implemented in Marvel anytime soon unless we see some major course correction. Now, Cameron has been making the press rounds in the lead up to Avatar: The Way of Water, premiering December 16th. For instance, he's not worried about trolls and naysayers predicting that his film will flop. Early tracking estimates point to the Avatar: Way of Water making around 150 million to 170 million opening weekend. That would be a notable increase from the original's debut of 77 million. Now, it's also good to take note that Avatar came out in 2009. So, I mean, I don't know if inflation is kind of accounted for in that or anything, but it has been over a decade since we got that movie. So I would hope that the increased numbers would be the increased numbers. However, it's seeming like Cameron is not very worried about the MCU and DC audiences going and boycotting his film. And I don't know if Cameron's lack of worry is a good thing or a bad thing. I mean, you could be a little too overconfident, and it has been a long time since we got the original Avatar. However, I will say, at least on our channel here at Post Hype, the Avatar videos that we have posted have received a bunch of love, a bunch of support, and a lot of interaction from the fans in the comments. So even though you don't see a lot of speculation and a lot of word from like Twitter and other social media platforms, I think there is an underlying want to see what's actually going to happen in this new Avatar film and what increase in technology has been implemented by Weta FX. I think that's really the biggest takeaway I got from this, is that maybe Cameron shouldn't be as optimistic as he is, but he's got every right to be. He's James Cameron. Like we said earlier in the intro, he's had his hand in so many different amazing films. You have to trust him to make a good movie, or at least something that's going to be a great theatrical experience. Now, we want to hear what you guys think down in the comments below. Do you think Marvel deserves all these shots taken, both on the digital side and on the storytelling side? Or do you think James Cameron is kind of just doing this to shake up some publicity and get the Avatar: The Way of Water name out there into the public sphere? We'd love to hear your guys' thoughts in the opinions, but that's where we're gonna wrap this one up here. As always, I'm your host MJ with Post Hype. If you guys like the video, make sure to smash that like button, and if you don't, make sure to let us know where we can improve. We're always open to your feedback and suggestions. However, we're gonna wish you guys a great day. We'll see you around next time. Peace out.